Welcome back. Welcome back. Your man Diamond K in here, of course, the Diamond K Show on firetelevision.com, the Diamond K Show.com. We are here, and I have to say that there is no surprise that we are here. Russia has attacked Ukraine. Peace in Europe has been shattered because of Vladimir Putin. Now, Russia has launched a wide-ranging attack on Ukraine. It has hit cities and bases with shellings and airstrikes. Civilians are trying to flee, piling into trains, cars, trying to get out of Dodge. Everything that the West has done, the mother of all sanctions, had no teeth. Ukraine's government said that Russian tanks and troops rolled across the border in a full-scale war that could rewrite the geopolitical order and whose fallout already reverberated around the world. So here's the thing. You remember a couple months ago when Ukraine was saying, oh, America's acting like something's not going to happen. It's nothing going to happen. Everybody remain calm. Nothing to see here. And now look, Ukraine has been a victim of poor leadership. Very poor leadership. Ukraine's president said that Russian forces were trying to seize the Chernobyl nuclear plant, the site, if you remember, of the world's worst nuclear disaster. Ukrainian forces are battling other troops just miles from Kyiv for control of the strategic airport. A disaster. And President Biden, in his weakness, and nobody can be surprised that Joe Biden is weak. He was elected because he's weak. Democrats are in big trouble. Another story. Now, for Republicans that are talking about Donald Trump, if Donald Trump had been president, this would have never have happened. Donald Trump would have made it easier for this to happen, right? If Putin is doing this, and he has the relationship that he has with Biden, he has a very good relationship with Trump. Trump made it easier for this to happen. So Republicans, you cannot talk about Trump was tough on Putin. Trump has done, the only thing he has done with regards to Putin is lick his boots and praise him and talk about how he wanted to do the stuff that Putin is doing at the southern border. He has made it easier. So Trump is not strong with regards to Putin. And Biden is definitely not strong with regards to Putin. And I mean, it's just the way that everything has been done. For whatever reason, Putin outsmarts these presidents. Biden, Trump, Obama, Bush, all of them cannot play chess. My goodness. This is Moscow's most aggressive action since the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan in 1979. We're going back to the Carter administration. Going back to the Carter administration. He threatened any foreign country attempting to interfere with consequences that you've never seen. He's punking the world. I dare you to do something. Oh, well, Joe Biden has some sanctions and get out of here. I think that Biden has secured the fact that he's going to be a one-term president. That's just a fact. I mean, what? No, nobody believes you, Joe Biden. I don't think Joe Biden can control what happens in his own house, literally his own house. I think the grandkids probably run the house. The chief of the NATO alliance said the brutal act of war shattered the peace in Europe. And what are y'all going to do about it? Nothing. Nothing. You ain't going to do nothing. You're just going to sit and talk about, and they're just going to be in the corner shaking. Oh, it's terrible. You think that you can shame Putin? He doesn't care what you think. America, NATO, and y'all ain't going to do nothing. You're not going to do anything because you're in fear of World War II. And whenever you think about doing something, you go back to that fear of that horrible war. And you say, oh, it's not worth it. And then you're not going to do anything. You can condemn him all you want. He got what he wanted, or he's on the path to. And this has been a long path. This has been a slow, simmering type of thing. He has completely outsmarted the NATO leaders, the world. Again, why? Why is this happening? Why do we keep electing people who clearly cannot roll with the big dogs? The big dogs. As of today, the Ukrainian president Zelensky said that our countries are on different sides of world history. Russia has embarked on a path of evil, but Ukraine is defending itself and won't give up its freedom. You guys don't have a chance. You don't stand a chance. The president, Zelensky, what? Where did you find this guy? Oh, that's right. He's a former comedian. But this ain't a joke. This ain't a joke. And under his leadership, they are not prepared. They act like they're surprised at this. This has been telegraphed. In this social media era, in this social media age, all of his moves, Putin's moves, have been telegraphed. They put it all on social media. They put it all on the news. Everybody knew what he was going to do. But Zelensky from Ukraine is acting surprised. Oh my God, Putin is so evil. Duh. Just tuning in, Jermaine Diamond K in here, the Diamond K Show on firetelevision.com, the diamondkshow.com. We're talking about Russia attacking Ukraine. Oh, the mother of all sanctions. He stepped right over that. Some nervous Europeans are speculating about a possible new world war. I doubt if we're going to war. The U.S. and its NATO partners have so far shown no indication that they would join in a war against Russia. For what reason? He got to do something else. But I don't think that there's anything. They're completely scared. Like a lot of these old dudes, they're old. So they remember some of this stuff from 1940s, and they are scared and shook. They send soldiers way to the other regions and say this is gonna show them. What? They instead mobilize troops and equipment around, I don't know, the western flank somewhere, and they go with this flawed and failed thought process of we're going to arm and train them, right? We're going to arm and train them, right? They're just going to take your money, take your weapons. Who knows? In D.C., President Biden has convened a meeting of the National Security Council to discuss Ukraine as the U.S. prepares new sanctions. Well, there it is again. New sanctions. Ooh. Your sanctions don't mean anything. Biden is maddening. God, and I voted for this guy. Jesus. Oh, my God. Biden administration and officials have signaled that two of the measures that they are considering most strongly include hitting Russia's biggest banks and slapping on new export controls meant to starve Russian industries and the military of U.S. semiconductors and other high-tech components. Here's the thing, President Biden and President Biden advisors, Russia has prepared for this already. They know what you're going to do. They know the playbook. right? Your predecessor gave them everything. You know what I mean? They already know what you're going to do, and they've prepared for it. This attack came first from the air, and that's the way that you do it. Later, Ukrainian authorities described ground invasions in multiple regions. Border guards released footage showing a line of Russian military vehicles crossing into Ukraine's government-held territory. Damn the training exercise. Y'all fell for that one. European authorities declared the country's airspace an active conflict zone. But according to the Ukrainian president, there's nothing to see here. Everybody calm down. Even slow Joe Biden was telling folks that the attack is imminent. Even he knew that. And he sleeps through most of the security briefings, allegedly. So Zelensky said Russian forces are trying to seize Chernobyl. They're shelling, hit a radioactive waste repository, and an increase in radiation levels was reported. It's all kind of stuff going on over there. Hey, go on. Ukrainians who had long braced for this prospect of assault were urged to shelter in place and not panic despite the dire warnings. What an idiot this Zelensky is, man. What the people of Ukraine did elect a comedian. Well, America elected Donald Trump and slow Joe Biden. So social media has amplified this, and it is just, it's looking bad. Associated Press reporters confirmed explosions at the Capitol. The AP confirmed in a video that the Russian vehicles crossed into Ukrainian-held territory in the north from Belarus and from the Russian annexed Crimea in the south. They are taking this thing over. And there's nothing that the West is going to do about it because it is not in their interest to right now. And they are scared and shook. The consequences of the conflict and the resulting sanctions on Russia. Okay, so what does that mean? The anticipated international, the countermeasures and all of that. Putin issued a stark warning to other countries not to meddle, right? In a reminder of Russia's nuclear power, he warned that no one should have any doubts that a direct attack on our country will lead to destruction and horrible consequences for any potential aggressor. Damn. Okay. Tell them how you really feel. Now, among Putin's pledges was, denazify Ukraine. World War II looms large in Russia. You heard me talk about World War II earlier. Now, after the Soviet Union suffered more deaths than any other country while fighting Adolf Hitler's forces, Russia really suffered in World War II. Now, the Kremlin propaganda paints members of Ukraine's right-wing groups as neo-Nazis, exploiting their admiration for World War II era Ukrainian nationalist leaders who sided with the Nazis. So Ukraine is now led by a Jewish president who lost relatives in the Holocaust and angrily dismissed the Russian claims. So you have this Russian propaganda, Ukrainian counter propaganda, and a whole bunch of he said, and it is a mess. It is a mess. So Zelensky, president of Ukraine, said that he asked to arrange a call with Putin late yesterday, but the Kremlin, they sent that straight to voicemail. Ain't nobody thinking about you. They already do what they want to do. They're going to do what they want to do. The peace on our continent has been shattered. I don't know about the peace on the whole continent. I know that peace in Ukraine may be shattered. And so now Ukraine is trying to get other people. This is Europe. This ain't a Europe thing. It's what a lot of those folks are saying. No. That's y'all business. That is y'all's business. And Putin is daring anybody to get involved, daring them. And they're not gonna do anything but sanction. We're gonna do something to the bank account and mess up with the gas. You got kids going to school over here. I mean, what? It's not gonna be anything. Right? He already has this thing figured out because the West telegraphs their moves. They all go from the same playbook. He has been in power since the 90s. So it's been one strategy. In America and in other parts of the West, the leaders change every couple years, every 4 years, every 8 years, and the strategies completely change. With Putin, it has been the same single-minded strategy since he got there. Same strategy. Now, the other problem is that the Russian invasion of Ukraine is going to cause pain at the gas pumps here in America. I just don't know if we have punishing enough economic sanctions that are going to make Russia do anything. And they've already pretty much done what they wanted to do anyway. So you do the sanctions now, or they did what they wanted to do. So, okay, sanctions, whatever. Yes, this is cold-blooded. Yes, this is calculated. All of that. Now, gas prices are going to skyrocket. They're going to skyrocket. It is unfortunate that we have a situation that a thug and a bully has invaded with impunity a democratically elected country. However, country is weaker than Russia, and none of the big dog countries want the smoke with Russia. This is going to require some sacrifice from Russia and everybody else in order to punish Russia and Putin. But here's the thing. Nobody's going to do it. Nobody's going to do it. Who's going to do it? This has been his move. This has been the plan. This has been the plan. So when we talk about these sanctions, they have accomplished nothing. You still have a crisis in Ukraine. Russian forces are going to seize whatever they want, pretty much. And then after that, I guess things go back to normal after that. But the way it looks right now, Russia, Ukraine, it's messed up, right? Depending on where you sit in this fight. Now, depending on where you sit in this fight, it is messed up. So Vladimir Putin of the Russian Federation announced a military invasion of Ukraine at 5 a.m. local time today. He previously said on Monday that Russia would recognize the independence of two regions that pro-Russian, the pro-Russian troops had a presence for years. So there was a video announcement. Putin claimed that the military operation was to demilitarize Ukraine. Now, this is because of the threat of it joining NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Putin does not like NATO. So Ukraine has been cozying up with the West, and he's like, all responsibility for the possible bloodletting will be on the conscience of the current Ukrainian regime. Tough talk. Truth and strength are on our side. He went on to claim that it was not his intention to occupy the country. Now I'm confused. What do you mean? The prayers of the entire world are with the people of Ukraine tonight as they suffer an unprovoked and unjustified attack by Russian military forces, Joe Biden said. You see the difference, right? See, Joe Biden was elected because of his empathy, because he is a nice guy. He's a nice guy, right? Probably nice to live across the street from you, right? Cool, nice. But this is the president of the United States. You would think we're the most powerful country in the world. I don't know. We don't have the most powerful leader in the world. That's for damn sure. President Putin has chosen a premeditated war that will bring a catastrophic loss of life and human suffering. Russia alone is responsible for the death and destruction this attack will bring. The United States and its allies and partners will respond in a united and decisive way. No, you won't. No, you won't. You're going to bring the father of all sanctions? Nobody is scared of NATO and America's friggin' sanctions. Biden continues, the world will hold Russia accountable. I don't believe that. Neither does Putin. I don't even know if Biden believes that. He previously called for a diplomatic solution to the crisis, but also ordered economic and financial sanctions against Russian leaders in response to the aggression. And they bucked those financial sanctions. I don't know, man. I don't know. After this, what's next? Taiwan? Because here's the thing. America is not going to really buck at Russia, and they're not going to really buck at China. Both of these countries are tough. Both of these countries have money. Both of these countries have nuclear weapons, and we ain't going to do nothing. I mean, we're going to talk nice. We're going to try to shame them. Shame. But I mean, that doesn't have any effect on people. Adults. We're adults here, people. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok at The Diamond K Show. Of course, on firetelevision.com and thediamondkshow.com. I am here 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. with updates. Of course, On Fire Television is a listener-supported digital outlet. Here on the program, we deliver the biggest political and trending news stories of the day with interviews and original reporting from across this country. Show is fun, show is upbeat, but I also got to expose what is really going on. I give you politics from an independent perspective. If a Republican is wrong, I'm going to call it out. If a Democrat is wrong, I'm going to call that out too. I don't want you to miss any of our live broadcasts. In addition to the live show, we drop content throughout the day as news happens. We have a gang of shows over here and are steadily adding more. You can get the Diamond K Show on demand at WRF Radio, the app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, and of course, YouTube.com/DJ Diamond K. There's a lot going on in the world. You want to support the Diamond K Show and this digital outlet, head on over to onfiretelevision.com, thediamondkshow.com. Grab a t-shirt, some other merch. Become a sponsor of the Diamond K Show for as little as $50. I'm able to deliver our news and our views because of our listeners and, of course, our sponsors. Speaking of sponsors, get all of your must-have beauty products from jstoverbeauty.com. They have quality wigs, Indian hair extensions, virgin hair extensions, professional hair care products, edge control, flat iron mist, mink eyelashes, satin wig bags, wax sticks, lace concealer, lace tint, and so much more. jstoverbeauty.com also does custom wig making, maintenance, and revamp services. You can check them out on social media at jstoverbeauty on Instagram or J Stover Beauty LLC on Facebook. Be a girl with mind a woman with attitude, and a lady with class. Visit J. Stover Beauty. It's the Diamond K Show, streaming at onfiretelevision.com or wherever you get your podcasts.